it's time for everyone's favorite segment on Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Jason's hot take.
Yep. Ding, ding, ding.
Thank you very much.
There's your sound effect.
That was nice. I appreciate it. We're starting in high class here with this organization.
Absolutely.
So you brought up the ACC. You brought it up. And I've said before that I think Florida State will go 7-5 this season. As much as I hate to say it, I think the Miami Hurricanes are going to win the Coastal Division. That also made me want to vomit as I said that. But I think Miami wins the Coastal Division. I think they lose to Alabama. And I think that they have something in common with Florida State because my hot take for the fifth straight week is that both – I hope we do, Sammy. I really hope we do. Both Florida State – no one wants a fuller fathead. That's not happening. No, that's not happening. If I'm predicting that both Miami and Florida State lose to the same team, and they played two teams the same this season. They both played North Carolina, and they both played North Carolina State. I think that Miami loses to North Carolina State. I think both Florida State and Miami lose to North Carolina State this season. I think Miami is not ready mentally to win the games they're supposed to win, and I think that the North Carolina State game will be a setback for them. It will ruin their chances of making the playoff. It'll ruin their chances of getting into that top four as an outside, like they tried to do in 2017 when they went into the ACC championship game, thought they'd compete with Clemson, and say maybe we can outside get into the playoff. I think the NC State game will set them back, and I think both Miami and Florida State lose to NC State this season. I know Mark Rogers' head is about to explode because of his dislike of Dave Dorian, his distrust of NC State. You have said it before. You were on record with your distrust of the Wolfpack, which is understandable. You've brought the facts to back it up, but I think NC State does it this year, and both NC State and Alabama compete to be state champs in the state of Florida.
NC State, clarify one time for me.
NC State beats both Miami and Florida State.
Okay.
It's bold. I know. It's bold.
Sure. It's not that bold.
It's bold. It's bold.
It's like a mild hot sauce on the wings.
I don't see you coming up with any hot take. I see you getting drunk and doing shotgunning beers while I'm doing work for this show. I'm trying to work for
we're here to comment. We're here to give opinion. We're here to give our opinion. That's our part of it. And I think it's like a mild Buffalo Wild Wings. I think it's mild.
But I think it's going to come because they play NC State the week after North Carolina. They go to North Carolina on October 16th. They host NC State in their rental stadium on October 23rd. So I feel like they're going to come in high. They'll be their fifth straight win in a row over North Carolina. And then North Carolina State will kind of give them that little, oh, wait, we're not as good as we once were.
There's a comment in here, and someone must have watched our video or was on our live stream or on the NG, but saying, Sammy, love him, always supports us, appreciate him hanging out, but saying that I can't talk, Jason, because I predicted Jordan Travis to have the best camp out of all the quarterbacks. But if I were to put that out on a tweet, I'd get absolutely decimated with people. I'd be like you with the Miami fans hitting your DMs. If I were to say that Jordan Travis has the best camp, then that would mean that he'd potentially be the absolute starter. And people aren't understanding that they would come for my heads if I said that he would be the starter.
First of all, don't come for Logan's head. He needs his head. He has to eventually.
I need to keep it. Yeah, I need to graduate.
He needs to graduate at some point from Florida State, so he needs his head so that he can do his finals papers. I don't disagree with you. I think Jordan Travis, if you're going to ask right now, gun to my head, who is the better quarterback for Florida State's system, I think it's Jordan Travis, just because he's been there. He knows the system. He's been with Mike Norvell for a season. He's been with Kenny Dillingham for a season. That being said, I just feel like the pressure of the name that comes with Mackenzie Milton, the backstory, the comeback story. I'm not saying that Mackenzie Milton is going to be the starter by the end of the season, but I think for the Notre Dame game, by default, he has to be the starter.
Yeah. I mean, I love the storyline. I think it's phenomenal, but at some point you got to just go to what's working the best and inspect and straight up football. And that's what I hope. I think that's how I think Norvell's mentally. And, you got the storyline. I'm sure Mackenzie Milton, whenever they talked and he was making his transfer to Florida State, he wants him to be that guy coming as a leader. But if Jordan Travis performs the best out of all the quarterbacks there in that camp, and it looks good in the system, I think a lot of FSU fans might be not so happy with it, but we'll just have to wait and see. But it's going to be a very fun fall camp to watch. I think those two are going to help each other enormously. Definitely Jordan Travis learning from Mackenzie Melton. It's going to be huge. But I still, there's some things that I saw in the spring a little bit. I know the spring game looked good for Melton, but I still think there's some more things that he's working on and getting the system down. And in Jordan Travis, this is year 2 for him, a full spring, getting to be with Melton too in that film room. I just think a lot of people are counting out number 13, and I'm not really understanding fully about it. They're on the Mackenzie Melton train. I completely understand that. He was one of the most talented quarterbacks. Could he be that again? We'll see.
I love the number 13. Shout out to Dan Marino, greatest quarterback in NFL history. But I just feel like it's going to have to. I feel like the ticket sales alone are going to make Mackenzie Melton. But next week,
top 10.
Next week, greatest quarterback ever in NFL history. Did you ever see that running game? That was got
top
all
10.
the defenses. Best quarterback
top 10.
ever. I'm sorry, was there any other quarterback in Ace Ventura? No, it was Dan Marino, greatest acting quarterback ever.
No.
Next week,
not the greatest of all time.
the hot take segment that's taking the world by storm, why one team may want to join the ACC. You'll understand.
Okay. UCF is joining the ACC.
Wait, what? No. No, dear God, no. No.
That might be a good move for the conference. I think it's a good look.